Welcome back to Let's Play Etrian Odyssey 4. Last time we explored the Old Forest Mine as our test, and acquired the iridescent ore. And we've been granted a sky ship. Before we head out, though, let's go to one of the two places we have not stopped in town, the Dancing Peacock Inn. An elegant establishment. And you must be the explorers newly arrived and confirmed by the Grand Court. My congratulations! Here at the Dancing Peacock, you may accept quests and seek information from our patrons. Completion of these quests is met with commensurate rewards. Many explorers enjoy passing time in this way. A request I think to be perfect for you is only just posted. Might I ask that you look it over? So here is where you'll get your side quests. Side quests include grant rewards, including pieces of equipment that you can't get otherwise, or at least not until later, powerful consumable items, and hammers, which we'll get into hammers later. For now, we have 3 quests available, and we can see all of the rewards for them. First of all, supply request. A group of soldiers to the east of the lush woodlands are running low on supplies. I want to send them some food. Our reward is 2 medicas. Oh, will you accept this quest? It may indeed be perfectly suited to you. A group of soldiers are exploring the east side of the Windy Plains, but they lack the food to carry on. So your task will be to gather food and drop it off for them. Their camp is in the forest. I was given to understand that it's in an open area. Freshness is important in food, so you must find it and deliver it in one trip. I shall await your swift return. If we look at our book, at our quests, we can carry up to 5 quests at one time, so let's go ahead and take the others. Quests in Etrian Odyssey, typically you'll have 3 per floor of a dungeon you access. Etrian Odyssey 4's dungeons work very differently to the rest of the series, but we'll get into that later. We also have the Outland Count's task. If the city must always seek out resources if it is to develop. There's word of a kapok grove in the Windy Plains. Find it. And we get 2 simple scopes. That request is from the governor of Tharsis, the Outland Count. He wants you to search for a small grove of kapok trees. You can learn more by talking to him at the Grand Court. I shall await your swift return. And the Atelier request. It's me, Win from the Baron d'Atelier. I can't keep up with all these new Copus orders. Please bring me 2 rat fangs. So this quest is kind of also a tutorial on the crafting system. That request comes from the Baron d'Atelier. They are keenly interested in materials for a sword. They can supply you with more details of the task at the Atelier. I shall await your swift return. You can also gather information and talk to a bunch of NPCs for information on monsters, dungeons, and mechanics. So let's start with the aged baboon hunter. Have you fought that damned monkey? The angry baboon on basement floor 1 of the lush woodlands? It's the #1 killer of rookie explorers in this town. You can't just swing at it blindly. If you're gonna take that thing on, don't skimp on defense. You might even want to think about running away. Because if you die, that's all she wrote. So, in the lush woodlands, which is the first maze area, run away from the baboons. We're already used to that. Grizzled one-eyed man. It looks like you finished your mission. Let me teach you a few advanced tricks. So, sensing monsters. Every explorer has some monster sense, whether it's well or poorly developed. The monster's presence, its breathing, or just the sound of it breaking a twig as it walks all give it away. That's why you should pay conscious attention next time one approaches. It'll give you a sense for the timing. The proximity gauge is shown on the bottom right corner of the screen when you're in Labyrinth. The gauge will shift from blue to red. When it turns red, it indicates a high likelihood that monsters will appear. And you can see that he had talk about roaming monsters, or FOEs. You've only seen the nomad baboon at the Old Forest Mine so far, but that kind of enemy is everywhere. They're damn tough. It's usually best to run away, but even that takes some know-how. Some monsters don't care about you. They're just following their path, and some will actively chase you. It sounds obvious, but different types of monsters have different patterns or senses, so you can't generalize. But if you learn to anticipate their moves, you should start to figure out how to get the advantage. Yeah, this game is not as heavy on FOE puzzles as something like Persona 5 or Persona Q. I'm just kind of making touch-ups to the map, even though we're still gonna go there, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But yeah, FOE puzzles are not as big a thing, but they do influence how you get through dungeons. Lazy maintenance worker. You cleared the mission from the Outland Count, and you should get started taking requests. Request rewards are an important source of income for explorers. This system's win-win for everyone. You can even build experience doing that if you need to train a bit. Check the quest board when you can. Me, I just come here every so often to check out the barmaid. Psh. Cooking Guild member. Be very careful of the tornadoes you come across. Come into contact with one and you'll lose all your food. The loss of food before anyone has had a chance to taste it is a tragedy no one should have to bear. Better to throw it to the kangaroos wandering the land. They enjoy vegetables, I happen to know. Ebony carrots don't have any other use but to lure those kangaroos away. You can even scatter them as bait. Interesting. Old soldier raising a mug. Hail, explorers. Take a seat and have a drink, why don't you? An explorer's curiosity certainly is insatiable. If they have an errand, they'll even head out at night. Since you seem to just be starting out, let me give you fair warning. Be careful when exploring at night. You're likely to run into terrifying beasts you didn't see during the day. It takes some getting used to. Yeah, EO3 is especially infamous for having very, very tough enemies at night. And Canny Medic Sophie. To survive in the labyrinth, you need to know your limitations. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. I'm usually here too. And we can talk to the barkeep. The requests will mount up over time. Be sure to check the notice board every so often. Now, shall we start over? Welcome to the Dancing Peacock. I hope we'll be fast friends, Miss Cydia. Alright, so first, let's go to the atelier. Oh, so you took that request, huh? A lot of explorers been coming around lately. I'm out of junk for swords. So if you want to get me two of them rat things, them tree rats out in Delush Woodlands drop them. When you got some, come sell them to me. Don't worry, the money you get for selling them ain't part of the reward. I'm counting on yas. Bye-bye. So first, maze area will have a reward. And we have a request for the Count. Oh, you've accepted my request. That's very reassuring. Are you familiar with K-Pox? The tree is not grown for food, but for its other uses. There's a place in these windy plains where many of them grow. I want you to search for this grove. Rumor has it it's somewhere on the northern side of the windy plains. The A2 region sounds likely. Oh, I'm sorry if my terminology is confusing you. Do you need an explanation of maps and coordinates? The map coordinates are pretty self-explanatory. Oh, my apologies. Of course, this is basic information for explorers. Now then, if you happen to find the grove, return here and tell me its coordinates. Of course, if you know them already, don't hesitate. So, let's head out the city gates. Hey, you're the Mysidia Guild, right? I've got a request from the Outland Count to prepare you a skyship. She's all ready to go. You can set sail as soon as she's registered. So, what are you gonna name her? The Lunar, eh? Got it. I'll take care of the paperwork. I made this skyship myself, so take care of her. I'd explain the controls, but you'll learn faster if you try it out. You can outfit it at the city gates. Which reminds me, you got a piece of a kit from the Outland Count, right? You can equip it on your skyship. Come by the wharf when you're bored, and I'll let you guys have some other equipment no one else is using. The cargo wharf might not seem like the place for explorers, but that's where you'd be wrong. I'll explain what I mean when you stop by. I'll be waiting. Well, let's go see the wharf then. The busiest trading hub in Tharsis. Welcome, Mysidia. This place here is my castle. The wharf is where Tharsis opens up to the outside world. Many a merchant comes here to trade. Explorers come and go as they please, too, seeing as this is where we fix up their skyships. Oh, speaking of which, let me give you this before I forget. We get the dowsing rods. That's for your skyship. It should help you find some of that treasure sleeping in the great wide world. It'll help to have clues of some kind. Oh, it'll help to have clues to find some of it, but you'll have to ask your fellow explorers about that. At the wharf, you can activate the Street Pass feature and try out any QR codes you have. Use the Street Pass feature to pick up other players' guild cards and their included representatives. You can also get clues to new treasures findable with the dowsing rods. By reading QR codes, you can unlock guild cards, exclusive items, and even quests. So, QR codes in this game are actually interesting. They actually released a bunch of quests exclusively through QR codes. You'll find repositories for them on like IGN and other websites, but they're usually just like grinding quests. Nothing like too crazy, you're not missing out on much. I'm probably not going to do the QR code quests, but I came here for the dowsing rods. So, the reason I want those is if we go to the treasure book, you'll remember when we saw the our guild card, we had the Sharplands treasure chart. So as you explore the world, you'll find... Well, you know what? I'm just going to show you on the world map. Let's depart on a skyship. Let's equip the dowsing rods. That's going to be more useful for us now. Select land. The first land, the Windy Plains. So Etrian Odyssey 4 has a unique setup because there's an overworld between all the dungeons. Gusts frolic over the wilderness. The skyship you've christened Lunar rises from the city gates. As you would expect from the Windy Plains, strong gusts of wind blow across the skies. Some of the stronger winds seem likely to sway the Lunar from her course. Far to the north of these skies looms Yggdrasil, your ultimate destination, but you'll never reach it without understanding how to control your skyship. You review the controls. Your objective while sailing the skies is to discover unknown lands while filling out your sky chart. Explore the sky map by piloting your skyship and using special actions on the D-pad. Press B to open the menu. Press A over animals or vegetables to gather food. Open the food menu to use it. Food will be automatically sold when you return to town. You can cook food to get buffs for your current outing, or you can use it to lure FOEs. The map you received from the Wharf Master shows Tharsis as well as the lush woodlands the Count spoke of. You could head straight for that natural labyrinth, but it might be wise to have a look around first. But be on your guard. Encounters with monsters and tornadoes could cost you your lives. Your skyship, the Lunar, is currently outfitted with dowsing rods. There seems to be discover hidden treasure in the lands below. So click on the Douse button. Search there to discover treasure. It can be deduced from the treasure book. By using the Street Pass featuring QR codes, you can get other players' guild cards and get treasure hints. To enable Street Pass or scan QR codes, go to the cargo wharf. So let's see here. For example, we have one in the D4 region of the Windy Plains called Sharplands. So, if we go into the D4 area, the dowsing rods fitted on your skyship are reacting. You check this spot. Something is shining below. You find the deep forest treasure. It contains 3 blind gases. So yeah, you can get some really cool items through this, like blind gas, which is a blind all enemies item. I think we actually just straight up cannot get the Sharplands treasure yet, so that's actually a bad example. Let's see here. So when you've been in the map that a treasure might be in, then it'll say, hey, it's going to be in this quadrant. So a lot of these treasures we just don't have, but having the dowsing rod equipped will make it easier to just discover them naturally. You find the Sharplands treasure. It contains a healing wand. Oh, really? Huh. Alright, so we found a unique piece of gear. Oh, that's... Huh. Holy staff that heals allies during battle. So... Okay, skill gear. Skill gear will give you access to a skill at a specific level. I think I'm actually... Let me see here. Because it was showing that anyone can equip it. I'm just going to give that to you for now. You obtained Grey Trout ×3. You managed to load the requested food onto the skyship. All that's left is to deliver it during this trip. You obtained baby carrots. So if we go to food, you can see Grey Trouts give elect resist and +1 agility to the party. Baby carrots give blind resist, very funny, and +1 luck. And yes, as you can tell, there are FOEs in the overworld as well as in labyrinths. Let's go ahead and explore the tiles, even if it's not like directly reward. Ooh! There's a skyship up ahead, which is unfamiliar to you. Its sails are a deep blue. The figure aboard the skyship notices you're coming and emerges from the gondola. You mark him as a man clad in steel armor who bows politely to you. I do not believe we've properly met before, Guild Mysidia. My name is Kiryonen. I'm the most lowly of the Holy Rune Knights who serve King Bjornstad. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. How do I know of you? Oh, I'm familiar with most of the explorers of Tharsis. That is all, Kiryonen boasts. By the by, I have a request. Would you have any Sakura trout? If so, I propose a trade. I actually do. You hand over 1 Sakura trout, which Kiryonen accepts gracefully. I am grateful for your hospitality, Guild Mysidia. Thanks to you, I can fulfill my obligation to the Count. This bronze icon is for you. It would please me if you found a use for it in your travels. I was not expecting to get that so early. Okay, so as you wander the map, there are a couple of specific NPCs in airships who you'll meet up with, and they'll have requests, or sometimes you'll even have to fight an FOE with them. Aha. Food. Wow, elect and ice resist in the first map. Let's go ahead and drop 1 baby carrot. Set. You pack the baby carrot in a wooden crate and lowered it to the soldiers. They gratefully open the box. After checking over the contents, they signal you satisfied. They seem pleased with the food. The request is now complete. Awesome. Tharsis Buffalo and Black Taurus. But this is particularly awesome because completing the request the first time actually gets you an accessory, which is pretty amazing early on. A bronze badge given to those who've cooperated with the Holy Knight. So I'm just going to go ahead and give that to Hero then. No. It has the HP buff. I have to give that to Talon. You reach the northern end of the Windy Plains. To the east and west are high mountain ranges, far too tall for your skyship to fly overhead. You see a ravine that seems to be the only viable path towards Yggdrasil, but it's filled with thick clouds. Visibility is close to nil in the ravine. To brave it with your skyship would be far too dangerous. You also see some kind of monument south of the ravine. You can barely make out a crest engraved in it. Further south of the monument, you see a large forest. This must be the lush woodlands the Count spoke of. To the side of the forest is the same stone monument that was next to the ravine. It seems too coincidental to ignore. There may be some connection between the ravine and the lush woodlands. But that's for when we're actually progressing the main quest, you know, like players are supposed to do. Oh. When you look directly below, you can see a vast and lush kapok grove. You can almost hear the rustling of the trees thick with large glossy green leaves. This is the fabled kapok grove. You must simply mark its location so as not to forget, and report to the Outland Count to fulfill the request. Alright. Let's go ahead and just drop icons on both of these tiles that count. Let's not go into that. Tornado. You can see there that those winds are pushing toward me, so I can't pass them. I'm going the wrong way for this. Let's see. Can't pass that tornado, but I can't just go around it. And over here, you notice a small forest by the riverside. Cries of birds and beasts echo from it constantly. There are brightly colored fruits on the trees. Many animals seem to flock here to feed on these fruits. You grow excited to think of what manner of exotic beasts you may encounter in this forest. Discovered a new cave, small orchard. Let's not go there yet, though. So, Etrian Odyssey 4 is split into caves and mazes. Caves are single floor dungeons like the lush woodlands. Here's the source of the river. Let's go ahead and drop a icon there. But so mazes are single floor dungeons, or mazes are 3-floor dungeons that are basically the proper stratum dungeons, if you're used to Etrian Odyssey. While caves are, you know, single floor affairs, usually there to just help you get trained up. Let's see, so if I drop a baby carrot here, it's distracted. Aha! In the center of a ravine rampant with bounding beasts, you spot a large, clear, and refreshing-looking spring. Its reflection of the surrounding flora is even more beautiful than the real thing, piquing your curiosity. If you could slake your thirst from those clear waters, the exhaustion of your travels would surely vanish. And we've unlocked the Valley Spring, which I'm going to go into specifically to Ariadne thread out. Because this is a higher level area, I believe. Like, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that's all I want to do in here, because even one encounter is terrifying. Alright. Deathstalker and Tree Rats. I'm gonna Strike Guard. Power Break. Regen Waltz first. Nerve Throw. Ah, yeah, so you see I have access to level 1 healing, which will actually be helpful once I'm comfortable leveling healing up beyond where it is now. For now, it's a bonk stick. Oh! Let's try and paralyze the Deathstalker. Holy crap. I knew this area was dangerous, but... crap. Right, it needs to take elemental damage. Okay. So let's pop an Ariadne thread and get out of here. I could have used the blind guess, I guess, but... Alright, so we got tons of money from the food. As you enter the inn, you see the innkeeper in the hall chatting with a familiar face. Ah, it is you. Welcome. I was speaking with Dalla about your Mysidia guild. It was nothing to be ashamed of. You seem to be doing all to search the small... You're doing your all to search the small caves that dot these lands. All of us in the city are grateful for your contributions. The caves have many rare and desirable materials. The more of them you find, the more we shall flourish. I hope that you continue your efforts on our behalf. Now that Dalla has hungry mouths to feed, I should return to my place of work. Perhaps later, Mysidia. So the clinic, you have to pay to have characters revived at full health. Let's go ahead and cast healing. Alright, so we have plenty of Ental. And if we return to the Grand Court, talk. Ah, my friends, did you find it? That Kapoke Grove I'm after? Yes, I actually did. Oh, splendid. Here, point it to me on your map. Are these the coordinates? Yes. Understood. I shall dispatch my scouts to that location at once. My scouts report that they've just found the Kapoke Grove. It seems your information was accurate. With these new resources, the city will prosper. As its governor, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've already contacted the Dancing Peacock. You may return there to report in and collect your reward. So that's 2 of the 3 quests, and the ones we can do without actually doing any dungeons. So let's return there for our free EXP. Report results. Supply request. Quest complete. Welcome back. You had no trouble delivering the food, I take it? Then here's the promised reward. Perhaps I should have you find some food to serve at my establishment. Obtain 2 Medica and 500 experience points. And for the Outlands Count's task, congratulations on completing that request. I heard all about it from the Outland Count. The Count has a duty to cultivate his city, so it's not rare for him to enlist the help of explorers. In this way, the city prospers and attracts more citizens. I would be delighted to see Tharsis thrive. Here's the reward you were promised by the Outland Count. I shall be seeking your help again. Obtain 2 simple scopes and 1,000 experience points. So yeah, completing quests is highly lucrative. And having completed a couple of quests and visited the Valley Spring, treasure on my mind. I was given a key to a treasure box in a labyrinth called the Valley Spring. Could you bring me what's inside? And the reward is the Speed Hammer. Ah, this request? Do you see the traveling merchant in the sea over there? He shall be your client. He wants you to open a treasure box located in the Valley Spring. You may receive the key from him directly. Be careful as you go then, and I await your swift return. It's going to be a while before we actually do that, for obvious reasons, but let's go ahead and... gather information. The merchant Saber. Took the request? Sorry to rush you, but this is urgent. The other day a man pawned this key in my shop. I hear it's for a treasure box in the Valley Spring. But the guy disappeared without a trace, leaving his debt behind. By law, I own whatever's inside. The best part is, it's supposed to be a breastplate crafted by the master blacksmith, Conrad. But I'm not cut out to go out adventuring in the Valley Spring, so I'm asking you explorers for help. Just bring me the contents of that box and you'll be well rewarded. Head west from the lush woodlands and you'll reach a side road that leads to the Valley Spring. We obtained a brass key. Opens a treasure box in the Valley Spring. Let's see here. Simple scopes reveals 1 FOE on the current floor. It's not a useful item, really, but it's money. So let's sell this dagger. And these simple scopes for 80 whopping Ental. Alright, so let's go ahead and buy armor. Yeah, let's get you a leather vest for hero. Alright, so next time on Let's Play Etrian Odyssey 4, we'll actually be heading into the first labyrinth proper. See you guys then.